Welcome to the 34th episode of Lalitha Sahasra Namastotra. If faculty of intellect is A, faculty of discretion is B, faculty of personality or ego is C, and faculty of mind is D, then the number of ways, the number of combinations in which this can be arranged, like A B C D to D C B A to many to other combinations, and this group of four elements A B C D with another group of five elements E F G H I. So how many different ways in which these two groups can interact by permutating the elements within each of the groups and subtracting 24 combinations from this results in 1000. So hence this 1000 will give the training in which these various combinations, various permutations within each group, and the harmony between the two groups. That is the effect of Lalita, chanting of Lalita Divya Rahasya Sahasranam Stotra. So let us move on. The next nama is Geya Chakra Radharuda Mantrini Parisevita. So this is the fifth step in the strategy laid out by the Universal Mother towards the mission, that is termination of Bhandasura, or termination of the inertial force, excessive inertial force within the body. So Geya Chakra Radharuda Sarvayada Parishkruta. Geya Chakra Radharuda Mantrini Parisevita. So the leader of army of those who can sing, those who are experts or specialists in singing, those who are experts in making the audience spellbound with their singing quality, singing abilities, and the army of such singers who got the expertise in Samagana. Samagana is a gana that can make people spellbound, and army of these experts or specialists who can perform Samagana and make people spellbound. The leader of this army, being seated in the chariot and the leader is known as Geya Chakra. Geya Chakra is the chariot and the leader is known as Mantrini. So Mantrini is the leader of army of the singers who have the ability to make the audience spellbound with their singing, and this leader is being seated in the chariot known as Geya Chakra. So obviously here the effect of the singing, through the effect of singing, there is a transformation that is happening to Bhandasura within. So the singing can make people spellbound. If the singing is, if the singer has that quality, he or she can make the audience spellbound with their singing ability. So there are in our history, Mahakavi Kalidasu, before after he turned into Mahakavi Kalidasu, the reason for him to get transformed to the status is the blessings that he received from this Mantrini. So those who listen to this Samagana, they will be standstill, like as if the snake, after consuming a frog, it is standstill. It doesn't move. So just like that, those who listen to the Samagana, they are spellbound. So therefore, with the expert army of this Samagana, the singers, Mantrini, who is riding the chariot of Chakra, making the Bhandasura spellbound. So he is, therefore his degrees of freedom are curtailed or constrained, limited. So first is through Sampatkari, his discretion, faculty of discretion was arrested, and the three grandhis are also been loosened to some extent. The second is Asvaruda, through that the faculty of mind is being arrested. Through the Chakra Raja, the random orientation or the disorientation of the Kundalini chakras were arrested, and they have been made standstill without rotation. Through the Chakra, now the Bhandasura is being spellbound. His degrees of freedom are further curtailed, he is further arrested. So there is a clear strategy that is going on here, and who is the owner of this strategy? The owner of this strategy is Universal Mother, who knows in and out of everything, and she has laid out this strategy based on the request put up by the Devarshigana Sanghata Stuyamanatma Vibhava, the divine elements as well as the witness mode operating the saints. So in Ramayana, in Aranyakanda, that is the third chapter of Ramayana, Valmiki Ramayana, in the Sita alone in the forest gets a visitor in the form of Ravana, who with his Kamarupa transforms himself into a sannyasi, into a saint. Not saint, it's a sannyasi is like a the person who randomly moves in the society with no specific goal for himself, but he visits people and takes away their negative energy. That is called sannyasi. So Ravana visits Sita in the form of a sannyasi, and Sita alone in Panchavati, she describes to Ravana the whole story that has happened till that time, how she got married to Rama, and then what has the events that has occurred, that occurred in Ayodhya, etc., etc., all that, that is in the form of Samagana, because she's in the form of Vanadurga there, so she does Ramayana Samagana to Ravana. The same Ramayana in Sundarakanda, that is Sundarakanda, that is the 5th chapter. Hanuma in minute form, again he uses the Kamarupa characteristic to transform himself into a minute form, and then he's resting on Sinsupa tree in Lanka, in Ashokavana, where Sita is located. And then Hanuma narrates Ramayana so that Sita can be happy, and he can use that opportunity to communicate with Sita. And this narration of Ramayana by Hanuma in Lanka is called Hanumad Ramayana, and this narration is done by the Hanuma in the form of Samagana. So similarly, Narada and Tumbura, they are experts in singing the Samagana. These two, Narada and Tumbura, also have reincarnated in Ramayana in the form of Lava, Kusa and Lava. So they in turn are responsible for propagation of Ramayana. They do Ramayana Samagana in Ayodhya during the final phase of Rama's avatara or incarnation in Uttarakhanda, that is the 7th chapter of Ramayana. So therefore, the Geya Chakra Radharuda Mantrini Parisevita has the ability to arrest the degrees of freedom of Bhandasura. So makes him spellbound. So he once his degrees of freedom are being arrested, there's hardly anything he can do. That means his karmacharana is almost come to a full stop here. So this is the 5th step in the implementation of the strategy. Through this Nama Geya Chakra Radharuda Mantrini Parisevita, through the effects of the Samagana, the singing effects of the Samagana, one can take control or take possession of the faculty of personality of the person, other individual. So that if somebody wants to capture or take control of the personality of an individual, Geya Chakra Radharuda Mantrini Parisevita, that is the way to go forward. So the next nama is Kiri Chakra Radharuda Dandanadha Puraskruta. So this is a very informative nama. So let us see what is in store. So Varaha Chakra. So here the chariot is being drawn by boars, the wild boars, and so the chariot is the person riding the chariot is called Dandanatha. Dandanatha means Yama. Yama is known as the person, the entity who is responsible for taking the life of a person, of a living being. So that is Dandanada. He is the Yamadharma Raja. So the Yamadharma Raja is riding the chariot drawn by wild boars, and Kirichakra Radharuda Dandanada Puraskruta. So the person who is the chariot drawn by wild boars, and the person sitting in the chariot, that is Yamadharma Raja. So it's this particular entity is beyond that. So she is beyond the Yama, who is riding the chariot drawn by the wild boars. So Kirichakra Radharuda Dandanada Puraskruta is a leader of army. Which army? Army of the chariot drawn by wild boars, and the person riding the chariot, that is Yama. So she is beyond this, the power of Yama. So that is Kri Chakra Radharuda Dandanada Puraskruta. Now we have to understand here what is the significance of Yama and what is the significance of wild boars. Then we will know what is the significance of this particular leader, Kirichakra Radharuda Dandanada Puraskruta. What does wild boars do? They have this ability, unique ability, with their tusks, the long tusks. They have sharp, extended teeth, so to speak. So they can plow the earth. So in the process, what they do is they, through the Kundalini wave that emanates from their tusks, enter into the earth, and the potency, that is hidden potency in the earth, they bring it to the surface level. So they have this unique ability to restore or augment the potency of the top surface of the earth. So that's what they do. And then in the Dasavataras, the 10 reincarnation of super soul, the third reincarnation is Varaha form. So that form has to come into existence because the earth element has become heavy. It was inseparable. It became inseparable from the water element. So Varaha, what it does, it has ability to separate the earth element from the water element at the gross level. Okay, that's what the wild boar does. While Varaha is the wild boar. So, since this chariot is drawn by the wild boars, so therefore this the heaviness is being removed. So that means this chariot is light. That's why they are able to draw it forward. But on the other hand, the chariot that is ridden by Bhandasura is so heavy because he has built up the inertia over time. So this Kirichakra Radharuda has the ability to um, to restore the balance of the chariot of Bhandasura, or has the ability to remove the heaviness of the chariot of the Bhandasura. So that is for this wild boar characteristics. So what is the characteristics of Yama? Yama, as we discussed, his portfolio is to take the life from the living being. He appears in the form of he appears at the time of death, and the final life force in the body is being taken away by the Yama. So he has the ability to draw that final life force, the residual life force in the body. So that particular living being is the body is being put to rest, and this life force from Yama, it goes to Rudra. Okay, so therefore, so the Kirichakra Radha or Dandana Praskruta is beyond the Yama. Beyond the force of Yama means beyond the death. So beyond the process of death. So what could be beyond the process of death that Kirichakra Radha or Dandana Praskruta will be dealing with? So beyond the death is the birth, and beyond the birth is the death. Therefore, so this is a cycle. So here beyond the death, beyond Yama means the birth. So the birth of everything in our body is the navel. That is there. The Brahma Grandhi is located. So therefore, what happens in the Brahma Grandhi? Brahma Grandhi is a place where the knot, the tie, is one of the first tie is there. So this is the place where the mixture of water element and the earth element resides. And because the knot is so tight, the Brahma Grandhi is so tight, so it is not able to separate the water element and the earth element. So this Brahma Grandhi has the ability to retain the light, the light, the not so heavy form of the earth element, and then reject the heavy elements downward direction. That is what the Brahma Grandhi does. But in his case, Bhandasura's case, the knot is so tight, so it has lost its significance. So it's become very heavy, and there is no way to separate the light form of earth element and the water element from this knot from Brahma Grandhi. So in our body, below Brahma Grandhi, it's mainly the water element, and then above Brahma Grandhi, it is supposed to be the rarefied earth element. So the Brahma Grandhi has the ability to filter out the heavy water and then reject it back, send it back downward. So therefore, in the Brahma Grandhi, there should be some mixture of water and the earth element. And so that is So beyond Yama means Kirichakra Radharuda operates with the boar characteristics on the Brahma Grandhi of Bhandasura, and then tries to restore the balance there by rejecting the heavy elements downward and by sending the light elements upward. So lot of worshippers of Sri Vidya think Kirichakradharuda Dandanada Puraskruta because of the wild boar presence. They attribute this leader to Varahi. Varahi is one of the Saptamatrukas, but Kirichakradharuda is not Varahi. It should be made clear that she is not Varahi. She reports to Varahi. She is a subordinate of Kirichakradharuda. Dandanada Puraskruta is a subordinate of Varahi, but she is not Varahi. If she is Varahi, Vasinyadi Vagdevata Rishis would have mentioned her as Varahi, but she is not Varahi. Similarly, Ge Chakra Radharuda Mantrini Parisevita, the Sri Vidya worshippers believe she is Shamala, but she is not Shamala. She reports to Shamala. Ge Chakra, the Mantrini in Ge Chakra reports to Shamala. She is a subordinate of Shamala, but she is not Shamala. So therefore, these two leaders, Mantrini as well as Kirichakra Radharuda Dandanada Puraskruta, both are the right hand leaders of Shamala and Varahi, who are the inner circle of the Universal Mother. Okay. And Ge Chakradharuda Mantrini Parisevita, the chariot that is ridden by Mantrini in Ge Chakradharuda Mantrini Parisevita, they refer to the fire element. Okay, so therefore the fire element and the air element, mixture of these two, fire element, air element, mixture of these two happens in Vishnu Grandhi. Therefore, Mantrini is a force that works on the Vishnu Grandhi. And in Vishnu Grandhi, there is a mixture of earth element and the fire element. So Mantrini works on the Vishnu Grandhi. And so the chariot that is ridden by Mantrini is having the characteristics of the fire element. The chariot that is ridden by Kirichakra Radharuda Dandanada Puraskruta is having the water earth mixture, or the ability to separate the heavy water from the chariot. The chariot of Ge Chakra Radharuda Mantrini Parisevita, ability to separate the earth element from the fire element, and works on the Vishnu Grandhi. Similarly, Chakra Radharuda Sarvayada Parishkruta works on the Rudra Grandhi and is having the air element in the chariot ridden by the Chakraraja. Chakraja Radharuda Sarvayada Parishkruta. Therefore, Chakraja Radharuda, Ge Chakra Radharuda, Kirichakra Radharuda, all these three refers to Rudra Grandhi, Vishnu Grandhi, and Brahma Grandhi. Now, this is very interesting here that usually these three Grandhis, Brahma Grandhi, Vishnu Grandhi, Rudra Grandhi, are traversed from north to south. That means start beginning from Brahma Grandhi to Vishnu Grandhi to Rudra Grandhi. That is the order of the sequence. But in this case, the order of the sequence is reversed. It has happened from Rudra Grandhi, then Vishnu Grandhi, and then the Brahma Grandhi. So this is very unique and very interesting. The reason for this is that it has. If you were to understand this, the reason, then we have to take the help of a practical example. So Bhandasura is the inertial effects of Bhandasura has gone beyond the limit. He's beyond the repair. So that's what happens if we see a person like who can be maximum 100 kilos of weight. If the individual is putting on 600 kilos of weight instead of 6 times or 10 times, then we can see the ordeal that person is facing. It is unbearable. The inertial effects are unbearable. So the same thing is happening in Bhandasura. So it's as if the sewage pipes. There's a blockage in the sewage pipes, and it's spilling all over the place. The sewage is spilling all over the place, and so the Brahma Grandhi is located deeper of all the three Grandhis, and there's a blockage there itself. We have discussed it has lost its significance. The knot is so tight, so there's a sewage spillover, and there is no way that we can directly access the Brahma Grandhi, because it's a spillover that is happening. So what we have to do, we have to attack it from the top where the spillover is coming. So from there we have to attack. That is starting from the Rudra Grandhi. And because of this spillover, the divine elements within the body are being transformed into the demonic elements. That's what is Bhandasura has been doing, and that's why Devarshikana Sanghat Astuya Manatma Vaibhava. They lost their identity, the divine elements and the sage elements, or lost their identity because they have been forced to convert into the demonic form due to the inertial effects of Bhandasura. So therefore the strategy is through the top, and therefore Rudra Grandhi, Vishnu Grandhi, and Brahma Grandhi, that sequence has happened. So as part of the strategy till now, the first step was the recruitment of the army. Bhandasura Shakti Sena Samanvita, the employment portal. The next step is Sampatkari Samarudha Sindhurraja Sevita. The discretion, faculty of discretion, through the leader of the elephant army. Asvarudha Dishtita Asvakoti Koti Biravrata. That's the third step, in which the faculty of mind, through the leader of the horse army. Chakra Ratharudha Sarvayada Parishkruta, the arresting of the randomness of the Kundalini chakras of Bhandasura. Ge Chakra Ratharudha Mantrini Parisevita. This is the fifth step. Where the army of singers, the extraordinary talented singers who can make audience spellbound, the leader of such army, through this process, the degrees of freedom are further minimized for Bhandasura. There's limited scope for him. And the sixth step is Kirichakra Dhāra Dandhanada Puraskruta. So the emergence of the wild boar effect, the chariot drawn by the wild boar, and the beyond yamas, energy beyond yama, hence the Brahmagrandhi effect. So there's a clear strategy, very specific step-by-step procedure for towards the mission, termination of Bhandasura, the inertial demonic form within our body. So from this nama, Kirichakra Dhāra Dandhanada Puraskruta, it is referring to the Brahmagrandhi, where the mixture of heavy water and the mixed with the earth. Therefore, the water element relates to the faculty of intellect. Hence, Kirichakra Dhāra Dandhanada Puraskruta provides training to the faculty of intellect. The remaining namas we will explore in the next episode. Thank you very much.